what is stress? So if you were to look into the dictionary, it would say something like stress is a response of our autonomic nervous system that is managing all functions in the body based on perception. And perception is the key word in here, because on the pictures you can see we don't see things in the same way. And that's why sometimes when somebody says, oh, I have the empathy, you have the empathy only if you have been in that situation, and still you cannot or you don't perceive it exactly the same as the person. So we know that our brain is connected with nervous system. So it's autonomic nervous system, and it operates on autopilot. So 95 things that we are doing during the day, it's automated. And our brain focuses only on what is important. So sometimes, there might be, I don't know, Volkswagen California, the car that I bought. And 5 years ago, I saw it for the first time. And I was like, I've never seen this car. How comes? I did not see it because my brain did not pay any attention for that. I never needed it. And now I see it absolutely everywhere. So where the focus goes, energy flows. And also our thoughts are creating our reality and the words that we speak to ourselves. So we can actually have power over this autonomic nervous system with our thoughts. I can make myself completely stressed now. If I say, for example, oh, nobody wants to listen to this presentation, everybody will be staring at my face. They will see how nervous I am. I will forget what I want to say, and I will make myself feel miserable and completely stressed. Or I can shift it and I can visualize all of you saying, wow, she has amazing energy. She has amazing knowledge. I can't take my eyes off her. And then you are clapping the hands at the end of the presentation. And I immediately feel better. So it's about the thoughts and the words that I say to myself. If I say, Blanca, you are good, you prepared for it and you can do it, I can. So we have two branches of the nervous system. It's parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. So sympathetic is basically this fight and flight. And in that moment, our senses are heightened and the hearing and everything, so that we protect ourselves from the danger, so that we can run away from the tiger. So their focus is actually on the external environment. And that is good. So it's during the acute stress. It's athletic performance. You are going to run or cycle. It's intermittent fasting, actually. Yeah. So suddenly, when you are not eating for a long time, the vision, hearing, and senses are really heightened. Running sprints, presentation at work. And what happens in our body in that moment is that cortisol is increased, and that will heighten the memory and attention. It will also make sure that the blood glucose goes up, so that we don't have to eat. Now, when I do this presentation, I don't want to think about food. I don't want to be hungry and thirsty, and I don't want to go to the toilet. So all this will be shut down. Also, the immune system is going to be suppressed. So in a case of acute stress, if it's for 20-30 minutes and we can recover quickly, it's not such a big deal. With the chronic stress, it starts to be a problem. And obviously, the serotonin levels are going to be decreased, because I don't want to reproduce now. I don't want to eat. I don't want to feel totally relaxed. I want to be focused. I want my brain to work well. Sensitivity pain is decreased, and the blood pressure goes up, so that I can actually have enough oxygen in my brain. But when I finish this presentation, I want to eat. And I want to relax. I want to enjoy the beautiful weather. So how can I do it quickly? And it's through the breath, because we know that breathing is calming down the nervous system. And we also know that to activate the rest and digest, it's the vagus nerve, the nerve that has finger projections connected to every organ in the body, and it's passing the information to the brain. So it's like a second brain. Yeah? And this one is then focused on the internal environment. So if I close my eyes and do the deep breathing, inhale on a count of 3, and exhale on a count of 6, and I do it a couple of times, I'm going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and I can eat, sleep, and repair every cell in my body. So what can you do, and can you actually rewire your brain? And yes, there are many studies. So we are not victims of the limiting beliefs that we carry from the childhood and from the society that placed us somewhere, and we don't have to do the things in the same way. We can reprogram our brain, because our brain, our thoughts are actually like software. Yeah, so the brain is the hardware, but you can change the software by catching yourself every time when you have negative thoughts and shifting it into positive. And I know this sounds quite difficult, because if you are in a traffic and you are rushing to work or rushing to see somebody, rushing to the airport, the last thing you want is to come late. And then the negative thoughts come. You are so silly, Blanca. You are so disorganized. You just come late again. You did it over again. No. You have to find something that's positive. So what's positive on it? That you can maybe take a deep breath. You can listen to one song. You can phone somebody if you are in a traffic, like Gotthard Tunnel. So everything is advantage. Or I don't have milk in my fridge today, and I am used to having coffee with milk. So it's a major stress for me, and I need to turn it into advantage. Wow. So this is a fasting day, only, for example, with vegetable or the green tea that I wanted to try already last week and I didn't. Yeah? So catch yourself every time when you have a negative thought, and maybe write down how you can turn it into positive. And more you do it, it's almost like running on the path. Now there is a long grass in the garden because it was not used. But if you go through the way all over again, the path will appear. And it's this like neuro connections that you can do, neuroplasticity. And there are other things that you can do. So breathing, it depends. If you are falling asleep, then you want to imitate the count of breaths. So it will be 2, 4, 6. But if you want to quickly activate the parasympathetic nervous system, it's 3 and 6. Yeah. Or if you do yoga, and it doesn't really matter, it's 4, 4. So inhale on a count of 4. Then you hold and exhale on a count of 4. And it's through the mouth and through the nose and through the mouth if you want to like release, or everything through the nose. Or you can do the alternative nostril breathing. If you feel that your feminine and masculine energy is out of balance because you were, for example, working and you had to make lots of decisions, which is more like of the masculinity, maybe when you inhale through one nostril, you will see that it's a little bit blocked. Then you try the other and it goes easily. So the left nostril is the feminine part. Is that easier for you? Then you are in your feminine energy. And the masculine, is it blocked? Well, with the alternative nostril breathing, you can rebalance them. Yeah. So it's many, many exercises. But every time when you inhale and exhale, the length and the energy that you put into it is the same. So if I was to stand now next to you and close my eyes, I wouldn't know if you are inhaling or exhaling. So it goes like this. It's with ease. And sometimes people that come for my yoga private classes, they inhale very quickly with force and then exhale very quickly. But train yourself to do it really with ease and in the same intensity. The other is visualization, and it's like daydreaming, because everything that you can dream, you can also achieve. So let's say that I get up in the morning and I'm not really motivated to go for a run, Motivation never comes and never knocks on your door and says, hello, I'm here, let's go for a run. No, it's the action that you need to take. So even if you don't want something, so I don't want it, and that's why I'm going to do it right now. I put the tennis shoes on and I go. And I visualize that I run with Ronaldo, the football player. And he's asking me, are you fine? Can we do a little bit more? And I say, yes, of course. And it motivates me. So it's whatever you imagine. Sometimes I cycle from Basel from my office and I visualize myself doing this presentation, how people say, wow, that's energy, the amount of information. I couldn't take my eyes off you. And I feel like a heroine, like amazing. That's a great feeling. So we can create the feelings of pleasure and the emotions that we want by this daydreaming and visualization. Priming, that's from Tony Robbins, and you can find exact instructions on internet, but it's basically you can be even tapping on your thymus and you can say, I'm strong, I can do it, right? It's what monkeys do, because we know that the thymus, when it's actually shrinking, that is a source of the fear. So by bashing into the thymus, you release the fear and you empower yourself to do anything that you want. Attitude of gratitude is also very important, and you can write it down and have it as a habit. What are you grateful for? Because very often people are chasing what they cannot have. But there is a beautiful poem in Indian mythology, and it's about Lakshmi, the goddess of success, and Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. And when people chase Lakshmi, she's turning the back on them. So the strategy is to turn into Saraswati, into the knowledge and the gratitude. And Lakshmi will be chasing you. So then you will be getting everything what you want with ease. It's almost like going downhill. So every time when you like catch yourself that you are hanging on something that you don't have yet, I did not lose the weight, I don't have the money that I want, the position, everything, turn into how you can improve the knowledge and maybe the strategies, and then the result comes unexpectedly. You can be also grateful for small things, like you live in a beautiful house or beautiful environment, you have a loving partner, you have children, you have maybe abundance of money to buy whatever you want, good quality food, travel wherever you want. Or it can be something simple like in the morning you're lying and enjoying the mattress or the material of your bed sheets. Simple. Life is simple. Acceptance and patience. So these are very challenging and always very challenging for me, because I'm not patient and I want everything immediately. And I cannot accept that I invested so much energy and then my expectations were not met. So in Buddhism, the best thing is not to have any expectation and take things as they are in that particular moment, because universe knows what's the right thing for you. And I will be soon presenting to you my favorite book, which is from Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist, and it talks also about the universe. But let's dive into a practical side, and that is emotional freedom technique. So this technique is a connection of the modern psychology and the Chinese medicine. So you know that in Chinese, the energy is called qi, like Tai Chi. During this exercise, you let the energy flow. And for example, in India, they call it prana. So in yoga, you are inhaling prana and you are moving it through all the energy centers, these chakras. In emotional freedom technique, the most important is the acceptance that you have some obstacle, some difficulty that you are currently dealing with. You are afraid of something. So first you are starting on a karate chop point. And you say, I'm aware of my inner fear from failure, for example. Nonetheless, I refuse to stress myself about things that I cannot control or change. So we will be repeating this sentence. You can repeat it silently for you or loud as I walk you through the tapping points. Then you are going to tap on the top of your head with the fingers everywhere. Then you will tap in between the eyebrows. So it's almost like a third eye. In between the eyebrows, then outside of the eyebrows on the bone, then under your eyes, under the chin, under the nose, under the chin, on the start of your collarbone, and then underarm. So it can be either thrown this way or just like this. You are tapping to the place where you have your bra, if you wear a bra. And then again on the top of the head. So take a comfortable seat. You can close your eyes and just listen to my voice. So tap in between your eyebrows. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. Outside of your eyes. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. Under your eyes. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. Under your nose. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. On your chin. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. Collarbone. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. Underarms. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. Top of the head. I refuse to stress myself about things I cannot control or change. Now place your hands on your knees and take a long, deep, slow inhale. And controlled, slow exhale. And then you can slowly open your eyes and you can reflect on a scale of 1 to 10. Where is your fear or the obstacle that you were dealing with before? So the chances when you were starting was that it was 8, which is quite high. And maybe now it's only 6 or 5. So then you would do once more the round of the tapping. Maybe you need to do it for 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, but you will feel the sensation and the relaxation. Now, I just want to remind you about the chemical stress and the food. So you know that we have this 9-meter long tube, and then the gut wall is very thin. It's only 1 cell thick. If this barrier gets broken and it causes the inflammation can get into the blood, and that is a systemic inflammation. And depending what you are carrying in your genes, these genes can be switched on or off, and that can cause the disease. So it's very important to eat well, support your digestion and the immune system. So before you eat, always do this relaxation technique of tapping or yoga or anything. And here is the inspiration for you for a menu, what can be for the breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And I also want to talk about the stress and the exercise, so the benefits of it. When we exercise, for example, high intensity interval training, we are actually pumping the heart, we are increasing the blood pressure, and we are improving the insulin sensitivity. And this is because we are exposed to hormetic stress. And if it's only short term, it helps us to adapt to the stress. It's also great for the memory, for the focus, and for the function. And in next videos, I am going to show you how you can exercise at home, because you don't need to go to the gym at all. 5, maximum 10 minutes per day of variety of exercising can help you to feel better and have this mood and flow through your days with ease.